Hi class, so what I want to do in this video here is I want to help you get started on your Module 6 discussion. And this is about exploring probability. So what this discussion is going to use is it's going to use the StatCrunch tool in MyStatLab. And what you're going to do is you're going to simulate the tossing of a coin to explore some myths about probability and developing an understanding of a binomial random variable. So what you're going to want to do for this is you're going to load up StatCrunch here, okay? And have it handy, and we're going to use some options in it that are actually really, really cool. All right, so here's the problem. If you flip a standard coin, one that has two different sides, heads and tails, as we have learned to call each side, it will land on either heads or tails. Right, that makes sense, okay. So common conversation may describe this by saying there's a 1 in 2 chance of getting heads or a 1 in 2 chance of getting tails. Okay, does that mean that in 2 tosses of a coin you must have? So if you toss a coin twice, does that mean you must get 1 head and 1 tail? I don't know, right? Like you could toss a coin twice and get heads 2 times in a row. Okay, so does it make a difference if you toss 2 coins in succession or at the same time? Or does that mean something entirely different? I don't know. We're going to explore that. Okay, so again, you're going to access the StatCrunch option in the course. And then from the StatCrunch website, you're going to be using these options called experiment and simulation options found in the applets list. So here's the applet. We're going to be using this experiment for flipping a coin and a simulation for coin flipping. Okay, so here's part 1. What we want to do is we want to flip a coin twice, all right? And we want to download the results and talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here and it's going to say use the experiment option. So I'm going to go applet, experiment, flip coin. I'm going to flip a coin twice, so watch this. First flip, I got tails. Second flip, I got heads. That's great. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to click Analyze, and it's going to save my results here. All right, this is, hey, that's great. I would, if I flip a coin twice, I got 1 head or 1 tail and 1 head. Okay, that's great. Next, it says use the simulation tool, next it says flip the coin 20 times here. Sorry about that. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to just click on this 18 more times. And this second number here is going to count the total number of flips. So you can see in my third flip, I got another head, and so on. And I'm going to do this until the result gets to 20. Doesn't look like I'm getting many heads here. A lot of tails in there. Okay. This is interesting. This is a very interesting result. I'm not saying yours will look like this, by the way. Okay, yours will be completely random and different than mine. All right, so here's what happened. I flipped a coin 20 times, and I only got 4 out of 20 heads. Okay, and again, your results are going to be different. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Analyze, and I'm going to save my data here. The next thing it's going to say is explain how the outcome going here for discussion, refer to the results in A and B here. Do your results suggest the phrase 1 and 2 means that 1/2 of the outcomes will be heads and 1/2 will be tails? Well, if you look here, I mean, look at this. Look at how many tails I got. Okay. So what does it mean when someone says, 1 in 2 chance? Okay. So support your answer with details from your outcomes and embed the 2 photos that you got along with the results of the exploration activity. So you're going to have to save your photos of these as you go through. Okay. Now, you're going to want to then explain how the law of large numbers is used to determine the probability of getting heads on any single toss of a coin is 1/2 or 50. I do want to go back and it says create a probability distribution based on your results, because that can be a little confusing. So a probability distribution here, let me just load up a new blank page here. Okay, what a probability distribution does is it counts the number of heads and tails you get for only flipping a coin once. Okay, so we're going to have our outcome and our probability. And we're going to have heads and we're going to have tails. And what you want to do is you want to create a probability distribution from the results that you got. So look, the probability that I am getting heads in my 20 flips is only 4 out of 20. And the probability I'm getting tails then is 16 out of 20. Okay? So just so we're clear here, this is 0.20 and this is 0.80. Right, so this is vastly different from the 50% they're saying you should get. Okay, so this is the probability distribution for the first part here. All right, so talk about when you go to do your post, talk about the law of large numbers, right? Like, would you expect when they say, oh, the probability of flip heads is 50%, is that over a small number of flips, or does that mean over a large number of flips? Like over the long run, if we kept flipping this coin again and again and again and again and again, would we expect the value to converge to 50-50? Because if you look at my probability distribution here, it's nowhere near 50-50. Okay. The next part says, using the applets menu, select simulate and then coin flipping. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to applet, simulate coin flipping. Now this is a different experiment here, okay? Just be clear. So what we were doing in the first problem was we were flipping one coin at a time. Okay, that's all we were doing. We were flipping one coin at a time. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip 2 coins. All right, so we're going to leave the probability at 0.5 and enter 2. So when it says number of coins, I'm going to enter 2 to simulate flipping the 2 coins at the same time. All right, click one run and then download your result and save it to your device. So watch this. I'm going to hit compute. And you're going to do one run. And this is my result. So it's counting the number of heads, okay, in my result here. Right, and you see it goes, whoosh, puts it over here. It says, when I flip these 2 coins simultaneously, I got 2 heads. That's great. So again, what I'm doing here is I'm counting the number of heads I get when I flip the coin twice. Okay? So what you're going to then do is you're going to use the simulation tool to flip 2 coins 20 times. So unfortunately, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go through and you're going to have to count to get the number of runs to be 20. So you can click 5 here, and it'll do 5 runs for you at a time. I'm going to do it again. And then I'm at 16, so I'm going to have to get this to 20. It's a little bit delayed here. So just give it some time. And then you want to get it to so it says the total number of runs is 20. Okay, we got it. And so what's going on here is you want to count the number of heads, okay? So it says next says, click Analyze and record the outcome of each toss in the column of a spreadsheet, and then it says create a probability distribution for this. So I'm going to click Analyze. And over here, you're going to get the number of heads. All right, so what you want to do for this one here is you want to create the probability distribution for this. And it's very, very different, okay? So what's going on here for the second one here? What you're doing is you're counting the number of heads you're getting in 2 flips. So we're going to let the random variable x be the number of heads in 2 coin flips. So you're going to get x, and then you're going to want the probability of x. All right, so if you look here at counting the number of heads, you can get 0, 1, or 2. So you have 0, 1, or 2. And what you have to use is you have to use your results here to get the probability distribution. So this one looks like it's 5 out of, so the number of times I got 0 heads was 5 out of 20. Okay, so that's 0.25. The number of times I got 1 head was 11 out of 20. You can see when I hold my mouse over it, it says frequency. That's 11 out of 20. Excuse me. So, you know, if you want to just do 11 divided by 20, you'll see you get 0.55. And then finally, you know, over here, excuse me, you're seeing I get 4 out of 20. And again, you can use your calculator if you need to. So that's 0.20. Okay, so that was my probability distribution for this outcome. So notice there are two different experiments here, okay? Excuse me again. First one was just flipping a coin one time, okay, and trying to figure out the probability you get heads or tails. And the second time we did this, it was looking at flipping two coins simultaneously and counting the number of heads that come up, okay? So what you have to do here is you have to explain how, in the next part for the discussion, explain how the outcome in column 2A is different from tossing a coin one time, okay? Or tossing a coin twice as you did in 1A. So like what's different about, the results here compared to here? Like what are they different experiments? Like what's going on there? So you have to figure that out. And then next it says explain how the results in 2B, okay, above represent the outcome of a binomial experiment. So you have to think about what a binomial experiment is, okay? And it says compare the results of part 2B above to the binomial probability distribution with the same values of N, P, and Q. Okay, so it's a little complicated here. I don't want to give everything away, okay? And I do just want to end this video by saying, look, you have the I've walked you through the stack crunch here. What I want you to do is post what you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a dialogue in the discussion. And I'm going to help you get to full understanding on this. So try to post early with this discussion. And I'll do a starter post too so you can see what I'm expecting or how to solve this problem. And then we'll have a collaborative discussion and we'll work towards getting us all the full understanding on this. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. But for now, you have this video walked you through the stack crunch thing, the stack crunch part, and then discussed how you create the probability distributions, which can be a little bit tricky, so far. But, your results, your numbers, again, are going to be very different than mine, okay, or close, I'm not sure. But you should have your own numbers here for the result for this, and, we'll do this discussion together.